I got my apron on, my hair is up, my to-do list is made. It's time to get busy. Welcome to Bucket List Homestead. My name is Lynn, and just real quick, you all, as of today, September 30th, I reached my 5,000 subscribers. Woo! I wish I had some noisemakers. This is definitely very unexpected. I make goals and pray, but I think I'm I'm an optimistic pessimistic. Pessimist. Optimistic pessimist. I hope for the best, pray for the best, but plan for it not to work or not for it to happen or fail or whatever. So I'm really, 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 really grateful. I reached 5,000 subscribers. I'm actually a little over 5,000, but I'm good for the year. Anything else after this year is just gravy, as they say, because I honestly didn't expect to get to 5,000 for maybe a whole nother year. I'll be celebrating my 2-year channel anniversary in November. So a little less than 2 years, and I made 5,000 subscribers, and that would not have happened without all of you who watch my channel, comment, like, share, all that good stuff. It would not happen without all of you, because if nobody's watching, there's no channel. So thank you so much. I feel incredibly grateful, incredibly blessed. I am so happy. It just gives me more drive, more fire to keep making videos. I think a lot changed this year because I really started making videos that I love to make, not necessarily ones I think everybody else is making, or, sometimes I get inspired by others. A lot of times I do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes I want to make some videos that I'm not sure if they're going to go over well. So thank you. I'm so happy. I am going to be doing a special live celebrating all this. I was hoping to get it done in September. That obviously is not going to happen. Maybe October, I don't know. Things are crazy still here. As you saw in the beginning, I am ready to get some work done today. Everybody else is busy. The boys are busy doing a lot of stuff in the garage. We are renovating that over the next month. I say renovating, but it's improving and building a room in there. So that's being done, and they're working on that. Grace is busy doing several things upstairs, some cleaning and some other things that she's working on. And Mama has her list. I am a list maker, and I'm an old-fashioned list maker. I still like writing things down. I still use my phone for list. A lot of times I take a picture of the list I wrote. But I use my notes. I don't want to say her, because if I say her, she'll start talking. But you know who with the capital A. I use her actually to keep inventory of my store, our long-term storage. I do that, which I need to update that. But I do love to make lists. So my method of making lists, if you can see, is I put stars next to things that I know that are important. Anything else I can get to over the next several days is fine, but anything with those little stars needs to be done. And there's quite a few stars today, so I'm hoping we get, there's 3 things I know 4 things I know we're definitely going to get to in this video today. So I got one more amazing harvest of celery yesterday from my garden, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's not a lot, and it's pretty wimpy, but I got some pink celery. I thought it all died, and I do remember, I think I planted, there's another piece, a few extra seeds when I realized the other stuff had died, so it actually did something. Now, it can tolerate a little frost, and we're going crazy hot here all next week. We're going to be setting records, like high 80s. So maybe I'll get a little bit more pink celery. I don't know. I already have 1 jar dehydrated of celery and I think 2 small bags in the freezer. So this is probably going to fill 1 big freezer bag. And basically I use this, tops and all, for broths. or soups or anything I need flavoring. So I actually was thinking about dehydrating the tops, but I'm not gonna. The dehydrator's been running nonstop for quite a few days. I may not have been filming, but a lot's been going on here. Let me give you a quick update. David and I bought a vanity back in the beginning of summer off Facebook Marketplace for $30. And I worked on that for the last 2 weeks, refinishing it. We changed out the hardware on it. We got a new top for it. We were able to keep our sink, which is great because our sink's not that old and I love my sink for my bathroom. We did end up having to buy a stinking faucet because the hoses and everything broke on ours and we couldn't just replace them. Of course you couldn't. But we managed to get a really good deal on a really cute faucet. So anyway, we got that all done. That's one of the things that's been working on, and it looks amazing. All in, we're under $350. The top was the major expense. That's paint. I was able to repurpose the hardware from my old kitchen cabinet, so they look amazing. I am so proud of it. I will put a picture right here of it. It looks amazing. So that, and has a lot more storage, which is what we needed. So that's something we've been working on. I've been dehydrating and canning a lot off of camera. We're going into October. Canning should start slowing down, but then again, we get our half a pig soon. And I hope to do some pressure canning of some pork butt, because that is the best for pressure canning, I find. It doesn't get as dry as other cuts. So a lot's been going on around here. Grace's birthday is in October, so we have that. Our Canadian Thanksgiving is actually next weekend. So a lot has been going on around here. And I was feeling very overwhelmed probably about 2 weeks ago. And I wasn't making my list. And the list helped me stay organized and not so overwhelmed because I just take it one thing at a time. Even if the list seems huge, I just say one thing at a time, Lynn, and it helps. And raise your hand if you add things to the list that you get done that you didn't put on the list, just so you can check them off. Please tell me I'm not the only one that does that. Anyway, it just overwhelmed because there's still so much to do. David's now part-time this month, which is both a blessing and a curse, I guess. I hate to say curse, but that's what I'm going to say. It's a blessing because he will have off long weekends for this whole month of October, and we'll be able to go watch Aiden do some of his track meets this month. That's the other thing. Track has kept us pretty busy, cross country. It's a blessing, so he's going to have time. We're going to be able to finish a lot of the things we need to get finished before the weather turns. The curse is that it's a reduction in pay. We planned for it, and God willing, the contracts will be out next week or so, and he'll sign and he'll go full-time again for another 4 months or so before he has to go part-time again. He has no choice. Here in Canada, if he works more than a certain amount of days full-time, they take away his military pension that he earned for 30 years. I don't think it's fair. It's not right. They actually, to me, they're punishing you for wanting to work. But anyway, that's what he has to do. So we know it's coming and we plan for it. So one of the reasons I've been so passionate about making sure my pantry was good and stocked. So I was feeling overwhelmed because the garden still has to get put to bed for the winter. I still need to harvest carrots, but I'm waiting for a frost that is not happening yet, so I can harvest them. I need to plant my garlic, which just arrived actually from In My Gardener just a couple of days ago. So I need to get that done. We got the chickens ready for winter. We started doing the winter deep litter method for their coop. Probably started too soon, but who knew it was going to get so hot. We still need to insulate our soft hot tub so we can actually use it in the winter. So I was feeling very overwhelmed and quite emotional because there just seems to be so much to do. So I've been praying on it, and I'm feeling a lot better today. Getting that vanity done was a huge weight off our shoulders. So now that they've started the garage, that's a weight off our shoulders. So I'll just be glad, because once the garage is done and we insulate the hot tub, we are done for any kind of renovations, except maybe painting through the winter. That's the other thing. I started painting my kitchen. So I've been doing that off camera. Renovations are done until at least the spring. We are taking a break. The wallet needs to take a break for one, and we just need a break. So Oh, that was a lot. I don't even know where I was going with all that, but I guess I just want to let you know if you're all feeling overwhelmed too, you are not alone. So let's all just take a deep breath together and take one thing at a time. We're going to get this, I'm going to chop up the celery, get it into a freezer bag, and then we're going to work on the apple barbecue sauce that I'm going to make. That goes in the crock pot, so I want to get that going so it can cook for several hours, and then we're going to work on canning some potatoes today because I still got to get through this whole big bag of potatoes. And I'm actually going to be using applesauce for this recipe, and there's a method to my madness. It's going to use up like 8 jars of applesauce that I made to make this barbecue sauce because the family and I went apple picking last weekend and we got 2 bushels of apples to work through. So I'll probably be making more applesauce. So, okay, let's get this celery into the freezer. I also spent a good portion of the morning getting my kitchen all clean just for me to dirty it up. But I work better when my sink is, well, it's not empty. It's actually got potatoes sitting in it right now and some cold water. I find it's easier to clean them if I let them sit for a little bit. So they're in there. I got a thing of soapy water for any jars I might have to wash because I had to buy another box of jars last night. I needed some more quart jars for the potatoes, and that is going to be the last thing of jars I buy unless I find some at a thrift store or something, because I've spent a lot on jars this year. I always think I have enough, but I have enough of small jars, but for some things I just find the wide mouth jars work a lot better, and potatoes are one, getting them out. And yeah, so the kitchen's clean. I got jars in my oven right now. I think it's 6 quart jars in my oven right now. That's going to be for the potatoes, so I'm just letting them stay warm while I work on everything else. All the water. Okay, 1 big bag of celery is going into the freezer. We can check that off our list. Where did I put it? Free celery. Okay, 1 thing down, a few more things to go. Okay, they're in the freezer. So the next thing I'm going to do is this apple barbecue sauce for canning recipe. It is from, I have no idea. Give me a second here. I think it's Practical Canning or something like that. I'll share the link down below. So, one of the things we need for this recipe, actually, let me read you all the things you need. So you need 8 cups of applesauce, 6 cups of brown sugar, 32 ounces of tomato sauce, or 2 15-ounce cans, 1.5 cups of vinegar, 4 teaspoons of salt, 4 teaspoons of garlic powder, 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. My applesauce has cinnamon in it, so I'm not going to add that. 2 teaspoons of liquid smoke. I'm not adding that because we don't like that. 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of paprika, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. Optional is black pepper and cayenne pepper. I'm not adding them because we don't like them either. So, I always thought paprika was like a special plant. Like I thought there was a paprika plant out there or something. I have no idea. Did you all know, and maybe I'm the last to know this, that bell peppers are paprika? All it is dehydrated bell peppers that you grind up. And this is one of the things I've been working off camera. I have been slowly filling this jar of bell peppers that I've been dehydrating. I have maybe a dozen little teeny ones left from my garden that are almost ripe enough. I'm just going to say the heck with it because I'm tired of that table full of peppers and tomatoes. I'm going to chop them up and probably dehydrate them tomorrow. And then that will probably give me a full quart jar. This has been amazing. I actually dehydrated a few, put them in some water for a few minutes to see what would happen. They tasted just like fresh pepper, a bell pepper. It was fantastic. I kind of regret freezing as many as I did. Next year, I will be dehydrating probably 95% of my bell peppers. Yeah, fabulous. So anyway, I am just going to grind up some of my bell peppers in my little spice grinder here to get my 2 teaspoons of paprika, and I'll meet you over at the crock pot. So I have my crock pot, and yes, I'm using a liner. I've had these forever and I keep forgetting to use them. I just don't feel like cleaning this today. I'm gonna have enough to clean, and I've already done dishes twice this morning, so yeah. All right, so in the crock pot, we are going to put 8 cups of applesauce, which is 4 quarts. So, and like I said, there's already cinnamon in this, so I'm not going to add cinnamon, but if your applesauce doesn't have cinnamon, make sure you add the cinnamon. That's 6. That's 8. Oh, it smells good already. Okay. 6 cups of brown sugar, which seems like a lot, but I'm going to trust the recipe. And it cleaned me out of brown sugars. Now I'm going to have to make some more. I just made that. So I'm going to leave that out so I remember to make more. And my applesauce also has no sugar in it. It was just apples and cinnamon. So if your applesauce has sugar, you might want to adjust this recipe. Okay, now I need tomato sauce, which I got to go grab. Okay, 1 quart jar of tomato sauce. This is from last year. And that literally was just tomato sauce. I think I added salt and, of course, lemon juice to it, and that was it. So I could make it versatile. Okay, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and start putting this on low. You can also do this in a big pot and just have it on your stove for a couple hours, but I need my stove, and this will just take up room over there, so I'm going to do it in the crock pot. Okay, there's the tomato sauce. Now I need 1.5 cups of vinegar. 1.5 cups of vinegar. So we're going to do 4 teaspoons of garlic powder. Actually, first we're going to do 4 teaspoons of salt. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yes, my garlic powder is green. If you're new here, I dehydrated garlic scapes and turned it into garlic powder this year. So it says 4, but because this is not quite as strong as normal garlic powder, I'm going to do 6. Okay. All right. 2 teaspoons of chili powder. 1, 2. 2 teaspoons of the paprika, which is pretty much, yep, that's pretty much what I ground up, so that was good. And a 1/4 teaspoon, this is a 1/2 teaspoon, so I'm going to do half of it. 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, and that is it. Like I said, you can add the liquid smoke, the black pepper, and the cayenne pepper if you want to, but I don't even have those things, so I'm not going to add them. And I have to say, this smells amazing. So we're just going to cook this on low for a couple hours, and I will get started on cleaning up my potatoes. I'm not going to bore you with me washing potatoes, and we'll come back when we're ready to start canning those up. Parboiled. The hot jars are out of the oven, and I treated myself to something this week. I make my canning easier, and I'm a little bit angry that I didn't ever see this before, but this is a canning funnel, and if you see, it has the measurements right on it, on your jars, for your headspace. 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 3/4 inch, and it also has it in millimeters. I mean, I've seen people using these, but I don't think I realized the measurements were on them. I struggle with trying to get the right amount of headspace. I have that little measurement. I have tried, what do you call it? A ruler, everything. numbers and math I struggle with, always have, ever since I was a young child, and it's only worse now that I'm older. So I'm really anxious to try this. So we want a 1/2 inch head space when we're filling these jars with potatoes. We want 1 inch of head space when filling these jars with potatoes. Okay, so for this pressure canner, I'm doing 3 quarts and I have 1 pint. I just don't feel like peeling more potatoes right now. I have 1 jar still left, and I will peel up enough to do at least 2 more jars so I can run another full canner load here in a little bit. So this is my Nesco electric pressure canner. I love this pressure canner for a couple of reasons. One, we have let me see if I can take you over here, glass top stove, and I love my oven. It's a double oven. We got it about a year ago. I love it. A double oven has always been a dream of mine. Honestly, if I'm being honest, a double gas oven has always been a dream of mine. Actually, the big dream would be to have a wall oven. That's gas, that's double. But anyway, I do like it. It's definitely come in handy, especially at the holidays and things like that. And like I said, we like it, but we're not set up for gas here, and to convert over to gas was astronomical. It was just not an expense we were willing to try to finance when we had other priorities that need to be done. So we went with this, and I find I got a pressure canner. It's a Presto. That's an induction one. So, because originally my old stove was an induction oven. So I did get that one, and it will work on this one too. But I find it's very hard to get, just 1 second, dripping in the sink was driving me insane. I find it very hard to get the rocker, the jiggler, to stay steady because I constantly have to adjust that heat because I don't have, it's not like a gas oven. Lord willing, when we move in the next few years into our permanent homestead, I'm hoping I'll have a gas oven there. If not, we're going to put one in, David told me. So I'm not getting rid of it because it's also good to keep, if we run out of power for any length of time, I can use that out on the barbecue, which I was going to try this summer, but the heat was just so bad. I might try canning on it maybe. We'll see in the next week or two where it's going to be fairly nice out. So we'll see. Anyway, so that is why I am keeping it, because if the power does go out, I can always use it on my barbecue. But I love this electric canner. You still can't walk away from it, at least not right away. You still got to stick around for a few things, and I'll talk about those in a second. But if you all know me, if you're new here, I research everything. I research what doctors tell me. I research before I buy anything. I literally am the research queen. The family laughs because I do. I researched like crazy before I bought my first dehydrator. I researched like crazy before I bought my first pressure canner. I researched my stove, our refrigerator, my phone, you name it. I researched the heck out of everything. So I did a lot of research when I found out about electric pressure canners, about 2 years ago. And I mean a lot. I watched a ton of videos, I read everything, and then I just made up took all that and decided I am getting one. And for my last year, I got it, I think Amazon Prime days. And then the only thing bad about it, there is one thing, is you can only do 3 quarts, or I think it's 4 or 5 pints and 6 to 7 half pints. And I've never done quarter pints, so I couldn't tell you how much they would do, but I'm assuming quite a few. And it's not actually a bad thing because we are only a family of 4, and I'm going to be honest, my kids don't eat a lot of what I can. They eat some of it, but not a lot of it. So I'm kind of canning for 2 for David and I. So it's not bad, but sometimes when I want, like right now, I have some more to do. It's nice to have the 2, and David surprised me for my birthday last year. He got a great deal on it for Black Friday, and I got it for my birthday. So I do have 2. So now I can do more. But I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's the best invention ever. So this is my second year using it. We've been eating things I've been canning from it, and we're fine. So I just thought I'd give you a little, if any of you are wondering about my electric pressure canner. Okay, so now that that's over, I'm going to show you how it works. So I have in here 8 cups of hot water, and that's the booklet. That's what the booklet tells you that comes with it. So, and there's also, it comes with 2 kinds of, it comes with 2 kinds of shelves. So I have a shelf in the bottom of it because it's just like any other canner. You don't want your jars touching the bare bottom of the canner. Okay, so we're going to lock the lid. Okay, I have it plugged in. The lid is locked. Now this little valve here, okay, it comes with 2. It comes with this kind, and it comes with a green one for anyone who's a higher elevation. I don't need that one. I hang on to it because you never know. But it does come with a green one that lets you know it's a different one for the different elevations. I'm under 1,000 feet, so this is the one I need. So you're going to want to have it set to exhaust when you're starting, and that's it pointing this way, okay? And then we pressure can potatoes for 40 minutes. So we're going to come to high. I'm going to bring you down some here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I push high, 40 minutes, start, okay? It's going to come to pressure, and then it will say E10. That's going to release a steady stream of steam for 10 minutes, just like your original pressure canners. And then once that's done, it will beep again, and it will say E0. That's for me to come and turn the valve to airtight, okay? And that's very, very important. If you don't do it and you miss it, it will beep a few times and then just shut off, okay? So we're going to let this get up to steam. I knew I was going to say that. We're going to let this get up to steam and do its thing. And I am going to do the next thing on my list. So the next thing on my list, actually, I am going to cross off canned potatoes, even though I know I have 1 jar and 2 more to do. It won't take me long, so I'll get them done. My next thing on my list is going to take seconds, but it's very, very, very important, especially for me. If you are new here, I am a 4-time cancer survivor, and I am so grateful to be here. Believe me, thank God, and I do every night in my prayers that I'm still here. But the treatments left a lot of leftover. I don't even want to. They're not gifts because you want a gift. They left some leftover lingering problems, and one of them is neuropathy that I have in my feet and hands, and it's been acting up in my hands like crazy lately. One of the other things is I have issues with Charlie horses. Like, it's not unheard of for me to have up to 6 or more a night. And some of them can last literally 20, 30 minutes. I'm not exaggerating. It's bad. They're so bad I actually get nauseous from the pain. And I've been taking internal magnesium for quite a while, and it was helping a little bit, but it's not working anymore. So I go to my research, and magnesium oil is actually a better option because you put it on your skin and it absorbs much quicker and it works better, and you can spray it on the areas that you actually need it on. So most of my Charlie horses are in my feet and my legs, especially my feet. I had a bad one last night. So I'm going to magnesium oil is insanely expensive. So imagine my surprise when I found out, because when I do take baths with Epsom salt, which doesn't help enough, but I use magnesium flakes to help with, taking a bath. Just way too much noise outside today for Lily, sorry. So imagine my surprise when the stuff I've been using in my bath sometimes is all I need to make magnesium oil. Like, how dare they be charging so much? So you can get magnesium flakes. So this is magnesium flakes, magnesium chloride, okay? You can actually use this in hot tubs. Well, that's good to know. And you can buy this on Amazon. I got mine at the dollar store. You can buy it so many places. So we're gonna make some today. And like I said, it takes minutes. I'm going to keep it in. You don't have to worry about preserving it because there's so much natural salt in this that it preserves itself. So I am going to use this mason jar. It has a chip on it, so I can't use it for canning anymore. know if you can see that right there, but I can use it for storage. So that's what I'm gonna do. So it's 1 cup of magnesium flakes to 1 cup of boiling water. That's it. And I'm not kidding when I tell you they are charging a fortune for this. So I want to make this so it has plenty of time to cool, and I'm going to be using an amber spray bottle to keep it in, right up next to my bed. So I put it on before I go to bed tonight, and I will let you know. I'll give it a couple of days and I'll let you know how it's working. I really hope it does, because it's getting debilitating. It's suffering. I'm suffering. They're very painful, very, very painful. So I got my kettle has come to boil. Looks like, okay. So I'm going to put a 1/2 cup. You know what? I'm going to get my funnel so I don't make a mess. Hold on a second. Oh, that's the other 1/2 cup. So now I have a cup in there, and I will wash that before I use it again for canning. And I'm just going to go get my kettle. Okay, and we need a cup of boiling water. And that's all there is to it. I'm going to stir it, make sure it all dissolves, and I'm going to let it obviously cool down completely, and then I'll put it in a spray bottle. Magnesium oil. Check. And that was a starred thing on my list. So, magnesium oil. Okay. It just got to pressure. That took about, 10-15 minutes. It says E10, and steam will start coming out of that valve pretty darn quick. So it says E1, so it's getting ready for me to turn the valve. So this would be the part where on your traditional pressure canners you would put the jiggler. So, or your weighted gauge, whatever you want to call it. I just want to reinforce that this is not an Instapot. This is actually a Nesco pressure canner. And I'll link it down below. Hold on a minute. And I don't know, I tried to get it on film. I don't know if you can see, the steam's been coming out pretty good here for, there we go. So we just turn it, boom. So that's the equivalent of putting your weighted gauge on. And now it will come back up to pressure. It's flashing E0 right now. Once it's there, it will say E40, because we put it on for 40 minutes, and then it will count down. And then it beeps to let me know it's done. I unplug it, and I just leave it till it is time for it to I just let it depressurize on its own. I don't force it. I just let it do it itself. And I like to just forget about them in there, because I find I have less siphoning if I don't take them out too early. Once this one is done, I unplug it. I'm going to plug my next one in actually and get these other ones. While I was waiting for that to come up to steam, I got the rest of my potatoes done, and I'm going to get them into jars. Okay friends, I am spent. My back is telling me to get off my feet. It is 2 o'clock. I have been going since about 7 this morning. The boys have decided to stop for the day too, and I think I'm going to take a little break. We're going to have some lunch, and I think Dave and I might either take the dogs for a walk or go on the four-wheeler. So I'll see you back here tomorrow when we're just going to let that barbecue sauce go all day. I'm just going to let it go. I might bring it back here this evening and can it. We might can it in the morning. I haven't decided yet. I will say it helps if you turn on your crock pot. I went over to stir it and thought, why isn't this warm? I forgot I unplugged it to plug in my grinder to grind up the bell peppers for the paprika. So yeah, it's time for to stop. So I've got 23 minutes left on that canner, and then I'm going to start this one, and that will be 6 quarts and 1 pint of potatoes done today. So we'll see you back here tomorrow, and we're probably going to can carrots tomorrow because I got a great deal on some local carrots yesterday. We'll see you tomorrow. It's the next day. I did not get to canning my barbecue sauce last night. There's a million other things. I've been working on a sweater for myself forever, and I'm trying to finish that. I am down to maybe the last 10 rows on the sleeve, and I'm finally be finished. So I kind of worked on that last night, and I was pretty sore. My back was killing me. But I want to give you an update. Remember the magnesium oil we made yesterday? So I used it last night, and it does turn into an oil. It's very strange, but it does. turn into an oil. So I used that on my feet and my legs last night before I went to bed. And I will say, like, maybe I used a little too much, but my pajama bottom stuck to me all night. Which actually isn't a bad thing because I didn't ride up. But anyway, for the first time, and I cannot tell you how long, I did not have a Charlie horse last night. Not one. Not in my calf, not in my leg, not in my feet, not one. So, I mean, I know you're thinking, well, it was only one night, but I literally have had at least one every single night for several years now. So I definitely will be making that and using that every single day, and I will keep you updated on how it's going. Sorry, Aiden needed me. He's hanging out his laundry because, did I tell you, it's October 1st here today, and we are having a heat wave. We are going to be in the 80s this week, setting records. And it's not that I love cold weather, because I don't. It actually physically hurts me. But I am ready for some fall weather. Okay, so I am going to start canning this barbecue sauce, and I need to leave a 1/2-inch headspace, which I'm at. David and I both tested this last night, and it's good. It is really good. So I just kept it on warm all night, and there we go, 1/2 inch. I heated it up more when I came down this morning, and I also took the lid off because I just wanted it a little bit thicker than it was looking, and it worked perfect. So I had the lid off for, maybe 2 hours, and you probably want to see what I'm doing, so let me show you. Okay, so I'm just, you know what canning looks like by this point. The recipe, she did hers in pint jars. I'm doing mine in half for a couple of reasons. Again, this is not something my kids would necessarily eat. Not that they would necessarily know they're eating it sometimes. But it would more or less be for when David and I want barbecue sauce for something. And I use barbecue sauce all year. Even if I'm baking something in the oven or using my crock pot. Anyway, I'm using 1/2 pints because, like I said, one, it's mostly going to be David and I eating it. But also, this is the size jars I have the most of right now that are empty. And I want to save my quart jars for my carrots, which is also what we're going to get done today. So I am canning up the barbecue applesauce today, and I'm going to get my carrots canned today. And our potatoes are all done. So those are going to be going into the... I got to wipe them all down. They've been sitting for 24 hours. So I'm doing them this. Her recipe, I think, called for like 6 to 8 pints. So I took out 10 jars. And you know what? I still don't think it's enough. I had these all heated. They were in the oven for the last little bit on 250, staying warm. My water bath canner is going. And I don't think 10's going to be enough. So I'm going to get these 10 going in the canner. And I'll go wash up some more jars. Yeah, I'm going to need probably maybe 4 more jars. Wow, that made a lot. And I got to wipe down all the rims, get some lids on, which my lids are still in the sink. First batch of Apple's barbecue sauce is sitting here for the next 24 hours. I let it sit in the canner for about 10 minutes. I lowered the water temperature so it wasn't like boiling like crazy. Let them sit for 10 minutes, took them out. I got the next batch going in, so I end up getting another 4 pints and 4 1/2 pints and 1/4 pint. So that's gonna go. So I am gonna get started on the carrots, and I have some help with me. Aiden's gonna help me. He's gonna start peeling the carrots. But first, I have already wiped, I've checked all the seals. So the best way to check a seal, honestly, is if you can pick it up like this, you sealed. And I was a little worried because I didn't use my 4-jar lids. I used the lids that came with the jars that I bought. And I have a pet peeve about this. Why every time we buy jars do you have to give us rings? I have so many rings. I wish I could just buy cases of jars. Like, okay, give us the lids if you have to, because, you know, lids, you do go through them. But I don't need any more rings. I literally have 3 boxes of rings in my garage, and that's not counting the ones that are hanging up in my canning section of my pantry. No more rings. So all I do is I just get a wet cloth, damp cloth, and I wipe down. These were, I was pretty good. These weren't, they didn't siphon hardly at all, which is wonderful. And I just wipe down any starch or anything that might have spilled, and that's it. So there's some more potatoes for the shelf. Okay, I gotta set the timer for the apple barbecue sauce, and Aiden is gonna get peeling all these carrots. While I wait for the first carrot to get peeled, I'm just gonna look at my list that I made. So the apple barbecue sauce is done, and I did feed the chickens some mealworms last night and some nasturtiums. Nasturtiums are known to be a natural dewormer for chickens, and this is the time of year you should be doing it. Pumpkins too, which they will be getting some pumpkins soon, so they can have that. The mealworms helps give them extra protein when they're molting. It just helps them not have to work so hard, so much energy. Though we're not cold right now, so they're not wasting a lot of energy getting cold or staying warm. But anyway, okay, so we got that done. I did store the rest of my herbs off camera yesterday because David needed them out of the way so he could finish the garage. What onions I did get, I stored them. I didn't get a lot. They're not real big, but honestly, I don't mind that they weren't large this year because I'm the only one who likes onions in the house. Though the family eats onions, they just don't know it. I guess Aiden knows it now. But so to get a huge onion, I mean, I don't waste it because I do use it in my broths, but still, I hate having to buy huge, large onions. So having the small ones now, that being said, that won't even take us through the winter. I'm hoping to find a good deal maybe tomorrow when we go to Costco for some onions and I can maybe dehydrate them. We'll see. And I'm canning. We're getting ready on the carrots, this organizing seeds things. This has been on my list for like a month now, and I still haven't gotten to it. So, and I didn't finish the meal plan yesterday, so I have to sit down and do that. But, okay, looks like the first carrot's ready.
Very oddly shaped carrots.
Yep, perfect. So, I need my knife. I got 10 pounds, roughly, of local carrots 2 days ago for less than $3. So, this is going to be between what I've already canned up. This should take us through the rest of the winter. I still have my carrots that I planted to pick, but I'm truly hoping to save as much as I can of those for fresh eating. That's my hope anyway. So I'm just going to cut. I'm wondering if I should use the smaller chopper. Blade. I think I might. We'll see how that works.
It's not really good, actually.
Aiden actually will eat carrots, but they have to be cooked. He has a problem with them being raw, which is fine.
They're better cooked anyway.
As long as I can get him to eat them, I'm fine. He actually likes them roasted too, the way I make them for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's coming up too.
Yeah, he likes that. So, actually, roasting a lot of your root vegetables, you actually enhance the nutrition in them. But they just taste so good because of the natural sugars that are in them. Yeah, that's a better size blade. That's the blade I'm going to use. But yeah, I'm going to be making, I usually do like a roasted carrot and parsnip, and they have like a little, sometimes I put the olive oil on them, sometimes I put butter, and sometimes just a little drizzle of honey. What did I do last year, Aiden? Do you remember?
I think you did honey.
Honey?
I
Was
think
it
you
just
did
carrots?
Like syrup or something.
It was honey, yeah. And was it just carrots, or did I add the parsnips?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I know you definitely did it with the carrots.
Yeah, because I also used purple carrots. So, okay, we're just going to keep going here. This is so much nicer having a helper in the kitchen. And I got my jars heating up. They're going to stay hot because I will be doing hot water over the carrots, which reminds me I probably should go fill up my kettle again so I have hot water ready. And these will be going in my pressure canner. Down to the last one, Aiden.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Look at all we got. That was a big help. Thank you very much. So you can probably hear in the background, my pressure canner just came to pressure and it's doing its venting of steam. And I got both pressure canners going. We're going to see. Hopefully that one doesn't get tripped. I think I have a bad lid here. Yes, I do. Okay, we're going to go grab a different lid. So I got 5, 9, 10, 11, 12 And I did the carrots in pint jars because it's what I have the most of. And for our family, I did do some in quarts, but for our family, quarts isn't always a great fit. So obviously can the size that your family needs. But yeah, that should be it for canning carrots. And I'd like to say I'm winding down on my canning season, but this week I am definitely going to I have all my tomatoes ready. There are several bags in the freezer. I'm still trying to make up my mind about what I'm doing with them. So we have to get those done. And then our pork order will be coming soon. I am going to pressure can some pork to have it shelf stable and not take up so much room in the freezer. So thanks for coming along with me while I got my chore list done, which reminds me I can check off canned carrots. So there's only one thing left with a star next to it, which is meal plan, which I have started. So hopefully I'll finish that today. I appreciate you following me along. It helps make the time go by quicker when I have someone to share my chore list with. Big thanks to Aiden for helping me get those carrots ready today. That helped save me a lot of time. And we end up getting a lot of apple barbecue sauce. Probably enough, I'm going to be frank, probably for 2 years worth for David and I. So I won't be making that, so that will be going on the shelf after it sits for 24 hours. So till the end, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And the best, easiest, most wonderful thing you can do to help me, to help my channel, is to share my channel and my videos on your social media with your friends and family. It is appreciated more than I can ever say. Until then, take care, God bless, and we'll see you all soon.